Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that a lot of our suffering in relationships and in life actually come from the fact that we are attached to a specific image of what it all is supposed to look like, and then we think that we'll get a specific feeling from it. So, so many of us are raised with the idea that if we only achieve certain milestones by a particular age, meet someone who looks or sounds or is educated like this, and then we have that many children, and then we move into our dream house that is supposed to look like that or be located in a location like that, then life will be a success and will feel good. And I think what most of us realize today is that no matter how hard we try to live by these completely arbitrary rules and ideas that were imposed to us, conditioned into us, that feeling of satisfaction is actually quite a difficult feeling to capture. And even those moments when we do capture it, it's not quite as sustainable as we would like it to be. And what so much of it has to do with is that the way things are looking, it's all happening on the outside, right? So a lot of our desire, a lot of what we strive for is conditioned and shaped by people on the outside, by ideas on the outside, by the way things are supposed to look like. But the way we actually experience them is the way it feels in our body. And the way it feels in our body has a lot to do with our past wounds and our past experiences and our childhood trauma and our childhood experiences. And so many of us, as I often talk, have experienced developmental trauma. So many of us are actually very disconnected from our bodies and our capacity to feel. So very often, because of this disconnect, we're not actually able to feel the good, abundant feelings, even when they are there, right? So much of what we long for is a kind of connection, is a kind of feeling of fullness, of completeness, of quenching of some desire. And what we often observe is that those of us that actually do manage to fulfill big dreams and feels like we've achieved things that we've been spending our whole life striving for, that feeling that we're hoping to get, that quenching of that inner thirst, actually may never be experienced. And this is where so much of our frustration is, because we work so hard and we often sacrifice the life in the moment in order for some future feeling, the hope that one day, if we do everything right in quotes, then we'll get to that feeling of success and pleasure and joy. But what I'm observing is that even if we work really, really hard to build the life that we were conditioned to think is dream life, it may not be what quenches us, because each one of us is an individual and each one of us has very different pain points and happiness points, and what may satisfy one of us may not satisfy the other one of us. And relationships, when we choose a person to live with, to spend our life with on some outside criteria, for example, his religious beliefs or his the education, the school he went to, or she for that matter, or what they look like, these are all outside things that have nothing to do with the way our relationship actually feels, right? Because we look at people out there, we judge them by these criteria that were conditioned into us by someone who is not us. And yet the experience of this life, the experience of these relationships is happening in our body. And a lot of that experience has to do with our own inner dialogue and our own capacity to feel, and our own capacity to receive the love and abundance and happiness that is already on offer. That is what I feel is really at stake in a lot of our confusion and dissatisfaction in life. So much of what we seek requires us disconnect from what our true desire is, and then we pursue life according to other people's rules. And when it's not feeling the way it's supposed to be feeling, like, in my 40s, I found myself having done everything that a good girl was supposed to do, having my own family, having my own children, being married long term, and I wasn't feeling happy. I wasn't feeling happy because I was completely disconnected from what it is that I actually wanted. And my inability to connect to my own desires and wishes was very painful to experience, because when I did everything right but still wasn't happy, I turned against myself. I made myself feel unwell. I made myself feel like a freak. I judged myself and hated myself for not being happy. So what I am suggesting in my work is really coming back to understanding who we are. Who are we? Each one of us, right? What does it mean to be me? What are my wounds that prevent me from really enjoying the present moment? What are my dreams if I really allow myself to connect to what actually makes me happy, what actually makes me come alive, what actually makes me feel thrilled about my life? And then can I allow myself to pursue these things that make me come alive? Because what if they don't look like the prescribed formula? These are some of the things that I talk about in my online program, Safe to Be Me. I find that it is the single most important element that is missing in so many of us, because we're disconnected from our bodies, we're disconnected from our essence, and we're disconnected from that understanding, well, what does even make me happy? So this week I offer my masterclass, how to feel safe in our relationships even after an argument, which will take place on April 12th. And after that, I will be opening doors for registration to my online program, Safe to Be Me. I had the first run of it last autumn, and it was a beautiful success and an incredible adventure for myself and all the participants. And now I had revised the program and improved it, made it even better, even more complete. And I invite you to join me. Please reach out or find the link below to read about it, to understand whether it's something that is appealing to you now. But in my view, it is an element that is absolutely missing in all of us and is essential to understand who we are, what even makes us happy, and how can we open up to the joy and abundance that our life already offers us, so that we can actually feel the happiness that we look for outside. All right, everyone. Well, I hope to hear from you. Please let me know how this lands. Please let me know if you relate to this video, to these concepts that I'm sharing with you. And I hope to see you this week. Bye-bye.